what happens to my hair after I wear it in a ponytail all day. My head's sore. Anyway, welcome to Bible Study with Faith, where I'm reading the Bible out loud to you in a way that's easier to understand, even when I'm exhausted. On the first day of the 3rd month after the Israelites left Egypt, on that very day, they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "This is what you are to say to the descendants of Jacob, and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen that I did to Egypt what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possessions. Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites." So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him to speak. The people all responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has said." So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, I am going to come to you in a dense cloud, so that the people will hear me speaking with you and will always put their trust in you. Then Moses told the Lord what the people had said. And the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. Have them wash their clothes and be ready by the 3rd day, because on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of the people. Put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, be careful that you do not approach the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the foot of the mountain will be put to death. They are to be stoned and shot with arrows. Not a hand is to be laid on them. No person or animal shall be permitted to live." It's crazy, right? I wonder why. "Only when the ram's horn sounds a long blast may they approach the mountain." After Moses had gone down the mountain to the people, he consecrated them, and they washed their clothes. Then he said to the people, "Prepare yourselves for the 3rd day. Abstain from sexual relations." On the morning of the 3rd day, there was thunder and lightning, with a thick cloud over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. As the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. Descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. So Moses went up, and the Lord said to him, "Go down and warn the people, so they do not force their way through to see the Lord, and may many of them perish. Even the priests who approach the Lord must consecrate themselves, or the Lord will break out against them." Moses said to the Lord, "The people cannot come up Mount Sinai, because you yourself warned us. Put limits around the mountain and set it apart as holy." The Lord replied, "Go down and bring Aaron up with you. But the priests and the people must not force their way through to come up to the Lord, or he will break out against them." So Moses went down to the people and told them. That's the end of this chapter. And I feel like I want to keep reading because it's getting really good. And I don't understand why only Moses and Aaron get to go up and why it's safe for them, but not safe for the other people. And if anyone touches the foot of the men, they are to be shot with arrows and stoned to death for doing something that Moses and Aaron are allowed to do. A lot to take in, isn't it? We got some favorites going on. We have Moses basically being the mouthpiece for God, and Aaron is Moses' mouthpiece because Moses is slow at speech. And people are going to want to rush up the mountain to see what Moses and Aaron are seeing because it's human nature to be curious and rebellious. So they're going to have to fight that instinct inside of them to want to know more and to want things to be fair and to understand things more and to see God, because who wouldn't want to do that? But they already have been warned. If you don't listen to what God says, you're going to die a horrendous death. My thing is, like, who's going to call everybody out when they touched the foot of the mountain? Somebody's going to be snitching. We'll see in chapter 20. If you're just joining and you want to catch up, all you have to do is grab a Bible, any kind will do. I'm reading from the New International Version. We are on chapter 19 of Exodus, so you'll have to read 1 through 19, or you can look me up on YouTube at Jesus is a DJ. That's all one word, and I'll read it all to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comments are always welcome.